Mr. Shajan Samuel, who is working with Aptech in a leadership role. He is an ultra runner and also a social evangelist. He is also a short film maker, and his recent movie ABC has won 23 awards with the state award winner Miss Shruti Hariharan. We welcome you, sir, to this program.
Good morning, Kumar. It's my pleasure to interact with you.
Good morning, Mr. Sarjan. What made you take the decision of running ultra marathons?
See, running for me happened off the fly. I mean, one fine morning I just got up and started running. Running is the most natural form of human evolution. Right from the time we were born, we were running, right? So, for me it was just off the cuff. And over a period of time, I think I started running in 2013. Over a large period of time, I started running only very short distances, 5 kilometers at best, 10 kilometers. 2017, if my memory serves me right, I felt that I should transition to becoming a serious runner. And for a majority, large part of my time, I was confused whether I could transition from 10 kilometer to 21 kilometer. But 2017 Airtel Delhi Marathon, half marathon, I completed with a lot of apprehensions in my mind, and that is that point of time I strongly believe that I can run much further than this. So from 21 kilometers in Airtel Delhi Marathon, I jumped to 50 kilometers in Goa. Goa I ran from 6:30 am in the morning to 1:30 p.m. in the afternoon on a hot sunny day on the beach. Then I ran 12 hours in the stadium in Delhi. I clocked in 82 kilometers. I came 7th in a very strong group of around 50 people. And then I really started getting the confidence that I can do it. I can run long. And running long has been my mojo. But then 2017, somewhere in the month of September, after running quite a few number of 50 kilometers, I believe that if I have to run far and if I have to run fast, I need to stay light. I need to be more lighter. That's when I consciously went into a complete transformation of my lifestyle. I started eating the right food, I started sleeping well, and I started to really work hard on my body, not just from a running perspective, but also from embracing a healthy lifestyle. And 2018, I completed 300 milers. For the benefit of people who don't know what is a 100 miler, 1 mile is equal to 1.6 kilometers, 100 miler translates to 161 kilometers. So I did 161 kilometers thrice in a span of 6 months in 2018. And then when I strongly believed that, look, this is possible. But all point of time, you can never say that I've accomplished everything in life. In ultra is basically, it's a Latin word, it actually means beyond. So for me, I have always been at this nagging curiosity in me, how long and how far the human body can endure. And I can say with some sort of confidence and assurance that the human body has this infinite capacity, which is unbelievable. I mean, I'm totally surprised, that how much this human body can do. And different races have different complexities. Having run in some of difficult terrains like Run of Kutch, Malnad Ultra, Berlin in Germany, I think the complexities vary. So and this will only get more challenging. So there are runs like Badwater when you're running from one extreme temperature to sub 50 degree temperature and extreme heat, and then you have the Kartungla challenge, which is running from at 18,000 feet above sea level, 72 kilometer run, 14 hours is the finish time, 30% less oxygen, minus 20 degree temperatures. So the different complexities in races. So what running is actually a metaphor for staying grounded. At all point of time you are humble, you understand your body well, you understand nature, and you bring a certain balance to your life. And today as a country, marathon has been a late bloomer in India. We have roughly 1 million people running, out of which around 90% of them will be not so serious runners. I mean, they'll be running a 5K and a 10K, and then probably after 1 year they will run again. But consciously as a culture, country is now realizing the significance of staying healthy. because most of the diseases which we are having now are preventive in nature. We can prevent that. So India is now the second obese country in US, and for very strong reasons. So with people holding onto their hand devices as if that means the world to them. So there is a lot of binge eating happening. If you go to multiplexes, people come in families, watch a movie for 3 years, sit on plush seats, enjoy the air conditioning, and they have junk food. I think it's and also right from the from the childhood, we see parents packing Lay's chips and all the stuff for the kids. I think this is avoidable. When our fathers and our grandfathers went to school walking 30 kilometers, and they used to work in the field and used to pluck the the vegetable from the field and used to cook. So that's why they lived for 70, 80 years. I don't think this generation will live for 80 years. Not that we want to, but I think it's important that each one of us really live our life very well.
Wonderful message, Mr. Shajan. Also, we'd like to know what actually made you take this ultra running, or how tough it was in the beginning for you. Because you just recently read about your interview with Rediff Mail, and you had mentioned that how you transformed from being I think around 90 kilos, and then you changed yourself by getting into a lot of exercise, and like you just told, diet and strictness and all that. But what was the trigger point which made you change that?
See, ultra running is all about conditioning your mind. I mean, at different points of time when you are running long distance, it is a really big challenge to keep yourself motivated, because you are running across different terrains, you are running through different climatic zones, you are running through different environment, and you are also running through different your body adaptability. So it's important to keep yourself motivated, and that's not easy at all, because end of the day when you're running so much, this question always comes into your mind: what is the purpose of running so long? I mean, why are you pushing the envelope? Why are you putting your body in considerable amount of pain? What does it entail? And then I decided this is going to be the last ultra run I'm going to run. And then after the race, I immediately go for go and sign up for one more ultra run. It's very addictive in nature. I think pain is the inflection point. Pain is a crossover. In ultra running, it is an imperative that you embrace pain and make pain your companion. Because if you don't cross over pain, I think you will succumb. So for me, ultra running is all about conditioning the mind, because your body will give up at some point of time. In long distance running, your joints will ache, you will get fatigue, and you will have a general sense of inertia overwhelming your body. So it's important to keep the mind tuned in. Having said that, it also needs to be in great physical shape. So there's a lot of sacrifices and trade-off one needs to be made. Maybe sacrifice is not the right word. I think the choice. I mean, today we are all living in a world which has got the choice of abundance, and I've made this choice very consciously. I just enjoy running. For me, running is food for my soul. It keeps me motivated. It is my me too time. It allows me to be with myself. I mean, most of the time we are not with ourselves. We are always in some other world. So I think ultra running is all about defying conventional wisdom. It is about asking why not. And for me, ultra running has been brought that sense of balance to my life. I hope I have answered that question.
Yes, you really have, Mr. Shajan. Now coming to any inspirational person you have had, who was kind of made you take up this very tough, kind of challenge of ultra running.
So not in particular, but when I was running, and I was going through my running journey slowly, I used to read Milan Soman. Milan Soman is of course the poster boy of ultra running in India. And I used to read that Milan Soman has run from Bombay to Delhi, Milan Soman has run from Ahmedabad to Bombay. And I used to think it is not possible. How can a human body run 180, 190 kilometers? It's just not possible. But when I did 161 kilometers, I thought this is easy. It is not that tough as people think it is. And after running 161 kilometers, I came next day morning to office at 8 o'clock, which is like a normal day. And nothing happened. I mean, I thought I will be in really pain and I will not be able to go to office for next 2 days. But nothing of that sort happened, because in the mind you have actually programmed your mind, you hardwired your mind. So I think ultra running is also an analogy for many other aspects in our life. You know, most of the time we fail because in our mind we believe we are going to fail. But when we set this mind right and believe that we are going to win, I think we can scale mountains. And that is an example of people who have achieved extraordinary things in life. They did achieve those extraordinary things because the difference between ordinary and extraordinary is a little bit extra.
Well said, Sai. Can you please tell us, you are in a leadership role at AVP Ltd. How do you balance, your work and ultra running? Because we know that you're always there in almost all the ultra running, marathons. So how do you balance your work and this activities?
Yeah, so I'm not almost there in all ultra running events because I believe it's important to practice. It is important to recover. It is also important to give your body rest, because one of the key elements of long distance running is also the process of recovery, the process of just stepping back for a while. I have this great power of switch on and switch off. Okay, so the switch off is basically when I tough rigmarole of this corporate life. It is important for me to switch off and find time for myself. And right from my school, right from the time I was growing up, I was always an early sleeper. So I sleep at around 9:30 p.m. every day. Whatever is the situation, even if it's a marriage in my own family, I will sleep at 9:30 p.m. And apart from marriage, I have not attended any other marriage function, just to place it on record. So I sleep at 9:30 p.m. No social night, no party, no dinner. I don't go for any dinner parties or anything. And I get up at 4:30 a.m. every morning, religiously. And after 4:30 a.m., I warm up and I go for a run and come back at 7. I'm the first one to come to office at 8 o'clock and I'm the last guy to leave the office at 8 p.m. or 8:30 p.m. And it really helps. Most people do this the reverse way. They sleep at 2 a.m., they get up at 8 a.m. and then come there. Because when you get up early, what happens is that you seize the initiative, you seize the momentum. So I live life, my lifestyle is it's not monk style, it's military style. So that is the way. I mean, everybody should find time for themselves, right? Otherwise, what's the point?
Brilliant, Mr. Shajan. That was a brilliant way to put it for. In fact, it's very inspirational. I don't think today's kids, especially the youngsters, ever sleep, like you said. We have our own students sleeping as I would say as early as 4 a.m. in the morning with the time what you are getting up, and then then get up in the afternoon. So we have many instances of students like that. I think this is going to be an inspiration to them. Next, I would like to ask you, what about your social evangelists? You are doing so many social activities. Where do you find the time, and what are the kind of things that you do? Can you please?
Yeah, before enlightening on the social work I do, the little bit social work I do, I'd like to just talk a little bit about what people should do. So when I check into hotels, I make it a point to carry my own luggage. So even if the bellboy insists, I say no. I carry my own luggage. Even if the room is on the 14th floor, I walk up. So I make it a point to always take the stairs instead of the elevators. I make it a point to walk at least 1 or 2 kilometers after lunch. I think by nature people are lazy. Even if there is on the first floor, people will press on the button and take it and go on the elevator. Even if there are 2 people standing on the ATM, people will say, "Bhai, idhar to bahut bheed hai, to dusre ATM chalte hai." So by nature, the problem happens when your salary becomes more than 50,000 rupees. Then you will have a chauffeur-driven car, you will have somebody to polish your shoes, you will have somebody to go and buy groceries for yourself. Even if you have to step out even for 100 meters to buy a packet of butter, you will take your car or your bike. So I think we really need to introspect where we're heading to. Yeah, so coming back to your primary question, social evangelism. I think social work should be a part of your DNA. I mean, that should be the very purpose of your existence. I strongly believe that how far you go in India depends upon the parent you were born to and the pin code. I call it the Orient lottery. So I hit jackpot in my mother's womb. 40% of Indian population are reeling under abject poverty. the income of 70 rupees per day, how do you sustain a family at 2,100 rupees salary? So for me, it is essential that every individual who is under poverty line comes into mainstream. Then only India can say that we are an inclusive country. Till the time each and every person in this country does not have a shelter on their head, does not have food in their mouth, we can never say we are a progressive country. And this imperative belongs to each one of us. Today we are privileged that God has given us the biggest gift, that is education. And it is for me and for you to make use of this. When I go to colleges and I ask the kids, what is your greatest dream? They put up their hands and say, I want to be an entrepreneur, I want to be rich, I want to have a BMW car. Very rarely people say, I want to bring transformational society. Very rarely people say, I want to wipe the tear from somebody's eyes, I want to bring smile on somebody's lips. I think that is essential. So social work is something which should be within you. Right from our schooling, our teachers are teaching us to be competitive. So they have demarcated. All intelligent kids go to class A, all duffers go to class D. Parents tell the children, if you don't get first rank in the class, what will Sharma ji say? If you get first in the class, I'll buy you a bike. So we have been taught to be competitive right from the beginning. I think grades are not important. If education teaches you everything, but does not teaches you to be a good human being, education pretty much doesn't teach you anything. So for me, whatever little work I do, I hope that becomes a catalyst. I hope more and more people join the bandwagon of humanity, because in the end, it does not matter what car you drive, the house you stay, or the money in the bank, but it matters how many people you impact.
Fantastic. It was such a great insight, Mr. Shajan. One last question. What kind of inspirational words can you give to our students?
I think, look, you guys, all the youngsters out here are in animation, and by and large, all youngsters out here, you are living in a world which is just conducively tailor-made for you. When we grew up, we had the choice. We did not have so many choices. We had Doordarshan, and because I could not afford a television, I used to watch the television from somebody else's house, and I used to call it Doordarshan. Today, you have 1,000 channels. You have different shoes for different occasion. You have different mobiles. Mobile which has got so much MP camera, mobile which can do this, mobile which can do that. We are living in a choice of abundance. But understand one thing, the choice in making life becomes a function of your identity. You are really blessed to be standing at the cusp of a revolution. My simple advice to all of you is that, be a good human being. Because you will attain wealth. That is going to happen. Because if you are going to stay long, you are going to get lucky. You will attain wealth. Do not fall in for materialistic things. Because if you start aligning your life to materialistic things, the goalpost will keep shifting all point of time. You have this unique privilege and unique power in you to find a cure to cancer, to eliminate poverty, to eradicate corruption. Align yourself with causes which really transform society, because you have this unique power. India today is a country where 70% of our population is under 35 years of age. 84 million people, young people, will be voting in this country. Can you believe that? We are the biggest democratic country in the world. The world needs people like you. People like me will only witness the transformation, but people like you will make this transformation. Put your life to good use. That's my humble request.
My God, I think, friends, it's fantastic. I think you got enough insight, and you couldn't have a more inspirational words from Mr. Shajan. Thank you so much, Mr. Shajan, for your time.
My pleasure.
We really appreciate your connect with us. Thank you.